Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today's gonna be a little bit more of a rant style, just giving you guys an update, letting you guys know what I'm looking at, exactly my opinion on what Bitcoin's looking like right now. We can correlate it to what we've been through in the past. In the last cycle, give you guys my opinion on if Bitcoin's done. Is this it? Is this the time to sell, or if you should just chill out for a little bit? Has the theory changed on 2025 going bullish still? Or should we expect nothing but bearish price action for the rest of the year? So if you guys get value out of the video, if you guys could like the video and subscribe to the channel, your support means a lot. If we look at Bitcoin, first of all, we know that it was kind of expected for, kind of a sell the news event leading into the crypto summit here on Friday on the 7th. We know that the crypto summit, Trump had signed the executive order to make the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Granted, it wasn't extremely bullish. Really, the summit was kind of lackluster, if you want my opinion. If you haven't watched it, you can go watch it. Not a whole lot of excitement happens there, in my personal opinion. But again, it's just stating the fact that he highlights that the U.S. government had sold their Bitcoin holdings in the past, like multiple 100,000, maybe 200,000. That'd be worth a lot more today. And now they have 200,000, I believe, Bitcoin right now that is currently, again, in their possession. So they're not buying 200,000 Bitcoin or 200, I think it's 200,000 or something like that Bitcoin that they're not buying. They just already have. They're just going to lock up in their reserve as they, as he referred to it as digital gold. So it is a good thing and a pro, but again, not the most bullish announcement, and an announcement that technically he had signed the executive order the day before, Thursday evening, depending on what time zone you're in. So again, it was very much so a sell the news event that we started feeling the effects on Thursday, because that's when an actual announcement had gone live. So that is what's happening here over the weekend, as we've seen Bitcoin go from that day 90,000 all the way down to 80,000. Now it's just chilling in the low 80s. So first off, my opinion is my theory, my thesis different, given the last couple of days of price action and announcements? Do I think that 2025 is not bullish? Do I think we're bear market only from here? No, definitely not. Again, fundamentally, what has changed? Again, we say this all the time. I don't want to, beat it too much, or, duplicate it so much so, or repeat myself. But again, if you think that Bitcoin is never going to recover, if you think that this market's completely done, then I don't know what to tell you. I think that might be more of an emotional stance to take, in my personal opinion, not financial advice. But I still am of the belief that, we see a strong reversal sometime in 2025. Now, again, that has always been on the table for it to be either the first half of the year, which again, Q1 has been not great, obviously, so far, or maybe we have to wait until, like we saw in 2021, where it's the final, Q4, Q3 of 2025. And that's where we see a lot of the gains, a lot of the big pump, and that also coveted altcoin season happen. So, in my opinion, I still believe 2025 will be a great year. It's just off to a terrible start. But if we look back, speaking of which, back to 2021, again, you have to realize that in 2021, it had gone up. Bitcoin went up to 60K, put a new all-time high in April, May timeframe, and then took essentially a 50% correction all the way back down to 30K over the summer, and then didn't rally up until, again, about October, November timeframe. And then we saw a little bit of an altcoin season, obviously, right then. And then we went into the bear market the following year. But so realize that if you were around this time, that 50% correction is way more harsh than what we're seeing right now. And, everyone obviously was giving up here. And then literally, if they would have just held or just hung out for a bit, if you didn't have any dry powders, have conviction in what you're holding and have a plan in place, let that plan execute, as we say a lot here, then it would have gone up and you would have been fine. But again, that is just one example. I'm in no means saying that's exactly what's going to happen again in the future. I'm not saying history is going to repeat itself, but I do think that, this market is not done, in my opinion. Now, could we see something similar where we see the next couple months kind of play out bearish, stagnant, a little bit like this, and then we see a return, towards the holiday season, Q4 of this year? That is, again, on the table for sure. Now, my opinion, I do think we see a little bit more of a strong, more sustainable relief rally here than we saw, over the last, couple weeks here. I do think that we do see Bitcoin put a new all-time high before summer. maybe April, maybe May, but again, that is just a total guess. Obviously, there's a lot of points we've talked about in the past to back it up, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen here, obviously. But my only, stance that I would say that, if, again, I don't want to repeat too many times is if you're holding something and it's down right now, if it's quality, a quality project, use a couple examples here like Solana, Avalanche, a few others, even Ethereum right now. Ethereum's I think under 2 grand here, or it was earlier. If you really think that those projects are dead, they're not going to make a comeback. I I would strongly disagree, personally, but again, this is all just price action here. A lot of manipulation here that we're seeing recently. So, in my opinion, I don't think it's really a whole lot to shake you out of your position. I don't think this is the time to be selling. Again, I've been saying that for a little bit now, but I do get the comments, that saying that I thought that low was the low. I thought the low was in. I thought that was a dip. Guys, nobody knows here, obviously. I'm just like you guys. Nobody realizes, nobody knows, nobody can predict at the bottom. But I'll let you know what I'm doing. What I've been letting you guys know is that, during these times, if you have capital on the side, if you see positions, I'm not going to get into any specific coins here. Again, it's more of a rant, just an update video. If you see any of your positions, any of that top quality picks here that are getting to those certain levels that maybe you do think are a good entry point, then take action there. Again, but you have to make that decision yourself. So I'm not getting any specific coins in this video. But again, to me, the thesis hasn't changed. My personal plans on my positions that I have personally, you guys should know by now, has not changed. Personally, I'm still remain bullish on 2025 overall. I still think we see, Bitcoin put in a new all-time high this year. I still think we see an altcoin season at some point in 2025. I still am bullish on RWA, gaming, and AI. Those three to me are still the no-brainer top narratives for this cycle. So fundamentally, you have to ask yourself, take the price action aside here recently. Do you really think that with all these announcements, all the mass adoption that we have seen so far over the last couple of years, this cycle alone, now Trump's coming in with his administration, do you really think everything is done and now's the time to pack up and just never look back? I don't know what your answer is going to be to that question, but for me personally, definitely not. I still remain bullish, even though, again, it's easy to be bearish right now when the chart is just pure red like this. But again, we've been saying this for for a little bit now, and I'll reiterate it, is one thing I would recommend is that if your portfolio is quite scattered across a bunch of different altcoins, this is a great time to look at your portfolio and see if you have a lot of crap in there or if you have quality, and maybe reallocate some of your positions into that top tier quality, maybe those narrative leaders, in the narratives that you're bullish on. Again, for me, it's RWA, gaming, and AI. So instead of holding a bunch of low caps, micro caps, they don't have those high conviction on, maybe reallocate and shuffle them into those top leaders in the space, because a lot of those are down over 50% alone over the last 30 days here. So, that's great time. Those are going to be some of the first ones to bounce in their respective narratives whenever we do see the market flip bullish again, and we see that reversal and that liquidity kind of trickle down, which I do still think is going to happen at some point in 2025. Again, it could be a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Nobody knows. That's why you have to have conviction into something before you get into that position. Have a plan, obviously, to let it execute before just panic selling. Otherwise, you're just going to lose if you're just panic selling every time the market gets, kind of shaky and massively red like this. So I just want to get on here and give you guys a quick update. I've been getting, obviously, comments on some other of the videos. Just everyone, I think, is freaking out a lot right now. But again, take the emotion out of it. Look at the grand scheme of things. I still think that we still have a great 2025 ahead of us. And one thing I'll close out with is you hear it a lot, especially if you're an OG in the space. If you've been around, you have not gone through the bear market, the FTX crash, all the different projects, rugging, the Terra Luna crash as well. You have not gone through all of these different bearish catalysts that we've covered on the channel throughout the bear market. So you guys, if you've been here, you have not gone through all of this just to give up now. In my opinion, we're still close to the finish line. So that is my opinion. Obviously, let me know in the comments below if you guys differ from any of that. Let me know if you are out, if if you're done with it, if you can't handle it, if the emotion is getting too much, or if you're of the like-minded, if you think that we are still in for a bullish 2025. Let me know your opinions down below. Hopefully this answers some of those questions, gives you guys an updated opinion on my opinion on where we're at. Again, nothing really fundamentally has changed. It's just been terrible price action recently, but for me personally, that's not going to shake me out of my positions. Again, have a plan, reallocate your portfolio, reshuffle it however you need to right now. I think it's a great time while everything is extremely down, even top quality stuff. So again, guys, I just want to get on here, give you guys a little bit of rant there, just kind of update you guys. But either way, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Hopefully, it answered questions. Hopefully, you guys got some kind of value out of it, and let me know your stance as well. But as always, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.